Imagine playing putt-putt golf the rest of your life. It might be fun for a little bit, but at some point you gotta ask yourself the question, do you have the balls to play a different sport? Guys, wholesaling is an amazing sport. It's a good game to play for a while, but it's just like putt-putt or bocce ball or whatever. What's that called? Bocce ball? Bocce ball? Who even knows? It's kind of like wholesale. At some point, it's a non-issue. It's a non-conversation. You shouldn't be wholesaling at some point. It's a great way to get into the business, but you don't want to stay in wholesale for the rest of your life. So there's a couple of reasons why people do wholesale. Number one is they want upfront money. They want to get paid today, right? They might have a 9-to-5 job, or they're trying to get out of their existing job. And they go, man, I got to wholesale right now to stack some cash. That's the number one reason. The second reason why people wholesale is because they say, I don't want to own properties yet. I don't trust myself. I've not learned those skills of delegation and managing a property. And holy crap, Pace, I live in my mom's basement. I can't even handle a regular 9-to-5 job. Now you're telling me I have to own a property and build my portfolio? I get that. I totally get that. And that's why there's always a time and a place for wholesale. I wholesaled for a long, long time. But the coolest part about this house is I helped a real estate agent who couldn't sell the house. And if I was brand new, I would have wholesaled this deal. I bought this property subject to, meaning I take over the payments of the original owner. We're gonna talk about 3 ways that you can double, triple, or quadruple your income in this story of 17742 West via Hermosa Lane in Surprise, Arizona. We've got hundreds of stories just like this one, but this one's a really great story about how Heather, an agent, could have made way more money than what she got paid on this deal. And we wanna walk through the house and show you how you can do that as well. So what I would have done when I started in this business is I would have found this house.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Okay, and the way I found this house is through expired listings. I would have found this house, I would have called the agent like I did, Heather's the name of the agent, and would have said, hey Heather, it looks like you're having a hard time selling the house. I assume it's because I looked at PropStream. By the way, I'll give you guys a training for PropStream as well. I looked at PropStream, I saw that the homeowner doesn't have a lot of equity, but they have a good rate. Would your homeowner that you're selling the house for, would they be willing to let me take over those payments? Heather had this house listed, I believe, about 5 months. It wasn't moving. Her client didn't have a lot of equity in this particular house. The house is 2 years old and they couldn't sell it. The homeowner who was selling the property said, oh, the market's hot. You know, we have a lack of inventory. Let's put it on the market. And they moved out of the house up to North Dakota to move near their daughter who was going to college up in North Dakota. And now they have a payment up there and they have a payment down here. That puts a lot of pressure on Heather, the real estate agent, to sell that house and do as much as she possibly could. Well, the house wasn't selling. And the house wasn't selling because they couldn't lower the price anymore. And they'd get lowball offers from real estate investors, you know, wholesalers. They even had some homeowners come in and lowball or just not hit the number they needed. And so Heather and the homeowner were thinking, really, there's not much we can do. There's an HOA here, so we can't do Airbnb. We can't do midterm rental. We can't do co-living. There's a lot of things we just can't do. And they were at a loss. And so I came along and I offered them creative finance. I said, hey, Heather, I would love to just take over the payments on that seller's loan. It's about 4%. I don't really care about the purchase price of the house. I care about the terms. Okay, well, we've done enough videos on how subject to works, but let's talk about how I made money on the upfront here, how I get rid of that whole I need money now need as a wholesaler. So what I did instead, once I learned creative finance, I realized that nobody really cares where the money comes from, okay? So here's what I did. I got Heather, the agent. Heather and I talk about subject to. She goes to her seller. Seller says yes. Heather gets paid a 2% commission. The seller gets paid some cash up front and they let me take over their 4% rate. Cool. They get paid, I pay closing costs, and then I paid myself $15,000 up front. That's the kicker. So the number one way that you can double or triple your income is by utilizing creative finance offers, going to your sellers and saying, hey, instead of us reducing your purchase price, how about we just offer some of these buyers out there creative finance terms? So where does that money come from? Well, here's another freebie that I'm gonna give you. I have a list of private money lenders, people that love giving me money on these types of deals. I'll give you $13 million worth of them in the description down below. So these private money lenders, they see I've got an agent, a seller, some closing costs to pay, and an acquisition fee I pay myself. I go to a private money lender, I ask them to bring that money to the table, and I overfund the transaction, $15,000, so that I can take today money on every deal that I put in my portfolio. Now, what am I doing with this house? The reason why I've walked around it and shown it to you is because it's a brand new house. Like, look at this, guys. We got a washer, a dryer with the property. This seller was so ready. Come and take a look at this house, by the way, in the garage. Nice little 2-car garage. Everything comes already dialed in. They have a $7,000 water filtration system. This house is perfect. So why would a buyer not buy it on the traditional market? Is because it didn't have equity. What am I gonna do here? The house has an HOA. I can't Airbnb this. I think Airbnb is gonna die over the next 5 to 7 years anyway. I wouldn't wanna do an Airbnb. Well, midterm rental is on the rise, and so is co-living. I think co-living is gonna take our country by storm. But the challenge is I have an HOA here that won't allow me to do any of those things. It won't cash flow as a regular rental. So what is the only solution that I can provide to make money, not only the $15,000, but monthly income every single month? Well, I'm doing something called a wrap. I'm actually wrapping this to a homeowner who cannot qualify through a traditional loan. I've already found the buyer. They're coming to the table with a $7,500 fee. So I make my 15 grand today, my $7,500 from my buyer coming in, and then I make about $400, $500 a month on top of all of that. All in all, I'll make probably $200,000 to $300,000 on this house with no money out of my pocket. I made $15,000 up front. About a week later, I made $7,500. I made $22,500 on a deal that an agent couldn't sell. What if you're an agent that understands subject to transactions? Okay, this is what Heather's now doing. Heather's now joined my community. She joined Subto and she said, I've got to learn this because you got me paid on a transaction I was like mentally about to lose. I get paid. Now I realize how many real estate agents don't know how to do this and how many expired listings are happening. I can just call those agents and do the same thing you're doing, and I can be a reputable person because I'm already licensed. I have access to the expired listing list, I have access to the MLS. But if I were you, I would just join the Subto community because this is where we teach people not only how to wholesale. Yes, I teach people how to do wholesale cash. I teach people how to do fix and flip. I teach people how to do the BRRRR strategy. Those are basic strategies. But the big thing that you want to do is have a cutting advantage that you can build a portfolio and get paid up front. And so for me, I would still wholesale when it's needed. But more importantly, I would be getting paid up front and building my portfolio because every time I look at a house that I wholesaled at some point in the future, every time I wholesaled a deal and drove by it in the future, I drove by those houses and I said, why did I ever sell this house? Well, because I needed the today money. I needed the $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 that deal paid me up front. And it wasn't until I started doing a lot of creative finance that I created methods and pathways for me to go and get somebody else's money, get overfunded on my down payment so I could pay myself up front, that I was able to build cash flow, get tax benefits, get appreciation, and get the upfront cash all up front that I said, why would I wholesale when I could just do this? Imagine you're an agent that instead of calling expired listings and saying, hey, I'd like to list your property. What if you called expired listings and said, I'd like to buy your property? I got paid 15 grand to buy this deal and I didn't use any of my own money. I didn't use credit. I took over an existing bank loan. That means I didn't have to ask permission from the bank. And if you ever have questions about due on sale clause and is this legal, we have videos for that too. We'll put that down in the description below. All of those things have been addressed on this YouTube channel. So I wanna see agents making way more money. Think about this, if you're a real estate agent, you have buyers in your phone right now that are not qualified to buy a house, right? If they go to Chase, Bank of America, Quicken Loans, or whatever these banks are, you have a lot of buyers in your phone right now that you could go make money on using creative finance by helping them get into houses. Do you know what I'm doing here? I bought this house subject to, I'm being the bank, and then I'm going to non-qualified buyers, meaning they have good credit, they have a good income, but they claim zero on their taxes maybe. Or maybe I have a lot of illegal residences that only have an ITIN number and they haven't built credit, but they have good income and they have good down payment. I will finance them. It's called a wrap, or I'm selling on owner finance to them. Hopefully this video has been helpful. The resources we're gonna give you, I'm gonna give you a prop stream walkthrough of how to pull a list like this. I'm gonna give you a student directory for my top 2 or 3 students in every state. If we get to 1,000 comments. And by the way, if you enjoy these videos, please give us some love, subscribe to the channel. It really does help get other people aware of what's going on here. And another resource that I'll give you guys is a private money lender list. I'll give you $14 million of private money lenders that I do deals with, and I want to give them to you. I want to give them to you in the description down below so that that improves your business and we can continue to do deals. I want this channel to change people's lives. We recently hit over 300,000 subscribers, which means 300,000 people have loved the channel and have helped us grow this channel and help other people get financial independence. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you more than you know. Hit that subscribe button on your way down to the freebies that we're giving you because you appreciate all the things we do. Give Eric some love in the comments as well, and we'll see you guys in another video.